I think Aperture was generally quite worried about it, but generally speaking, I mean, look, Aperture is one of the best as well.
Yeah, so. I definitely I talked to Aperture a little bit after the set, you know, gave him a few suggestions, things he could try out, but in the end of the day, it's mostly about the mental game when it comes to these sets. You can perform your combos as perfectly as you can. If you don't win those neutral exchanges, especially against a character like Snake, combos don't matter in the long run.
Yeah.
It's about how many times you can actually get the hit to begin with.
Luma. Just read that comment there. Richter. About Wammy's mic.
What's up?
Just needs to be turned down, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, we're going into this. Oh my god!
Oh my!
Wait a second. Robbie AK-47 in the distance just shaking his head in disgust. I thought we were going to see Inkling. I thought we were going to see Grenadier. In fact, we've got a hedgehog and a man.
Just a man. Just any
old
man.
A man with a whip and a dream.
And a lot of times that's all you need, a whip and a dream to go a long way. This is not something you see every day at the top 8. It's Richter rather, versus Sonic the Hedgehog.
The last time I saw a set like this, it was actually Pellington against Whoopi at Regen 2019.
Really?
Yeah, man. And Pelly is the last-ditch attempt of trying to get through the wall that is Whoopi, and his Simon and Richter ended up playing Sonic, and he probably should have won, and then he FD'd, and it's like, all right, cool. This is a weird matchup for.
I'll not lie, I don't know much about it. I don't think any people in the world know much about it, to be honest.
So this is the thing, man. So this is going off assumptions, right? Sonic, very, very fast character, can get around Richter's projectiles and his whip very, very well.
Yeah.
So obviously you don't have your shield counter spin dash anymore, but you still have a lot of mobility with that spin dash, so you can always zip in and zip out if you need to.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Belmonts, they can't really do anything about that. So when it comes to dictating the pace of the game, normally it's kind of down to the Belmonts, but when it comes to this, it's usually Sonic's going to do it, and that's another thing that you have to kimp him with that up B. The spring is very, very good.
From what it looks like, the two main things you want to do is force Sonic into the air, because while he does have amazing run speed, you can't run through a projectile.
Yeah,
if you force him at the air, Sonic doesn't have great air mobility, so you got to kind of play around that, force him into different options. But Sonic can kind of just harass Richter in many ways.
Is he dead? He's done?
No, he's
not. Oh, no, okay, he still had his jump. Good stuff there.
Okay, that's going to be an up B, yep.
That's lovely, not going to kill. Wow, I'm very surprised that didn't kill.
It's a bit of an odd move in terms of killing and when it doesn't kill. But the F-tilt, just do it again and again. Very safe move coming from Richter. Yeah, only 51.
Frames go out, like frame 6 or something crazy. It's very, very good.
Yeah, up B's frame 6, yeah. And Richter's a heavy boy as well. People don't realize that, so he's got a little bit to go.
He's definitely spinning around. He needs to be able to get out of the corner, and he does. Oh, lovely choice there for Aperture. Is it over? Oh,
managed to pull back just in time.
Tries to go for the upwards angle forward smash, should I say, sorry.
And this is really odd that Aperture seems to know what he's doing pretty well, which I don't really know how, but the F smash.
There's the catch with a forward smash, the Hurricane wrist. Missed it from Smash 4, but it's all the way back in the Ultimate here.
It never left.
It never left, man. Shout out to Genki.
And this is what I'm on about. I think probably the best projectile you have against Sonic is that side B, because down B is a very situational move, especially against a character of Sonic's speed. So it's all about how he spaces with his fairs, his F-tilts, and the side B. But 66 is looking pretty okay right now for Sonic.
Oh, he's getting whipped, and he gets up B out of it. Really good stuff there from Aperture to recognize that he was able to get out of that trap. And he's going to be able to get from ledge. He's not. That's the Wi-Fi special right there, man. Throw the axe, throw the cross, throw the fire. Oh, your neutral get up. That is unfortunate for you.
You don't need Wi-Fi to be able to confirm. That is always true when you get them off the
Check
ledge.
out my sick ledge guarding, bro. Okay, again, playing this neutral game. Very, very close game one between these two guys. I'm going to assume we'll see a character switch at some point in the set, but right now, very evenly matched between the two.
And I wonder what made them decide that they'd go these two characters, because I'm not sure how, you know, Inkling and Greninja goes.
Is an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah. Right now, King Gamer with the lead right now. Is he going to be able to punch out this game one? It looks pretty dire for him in the first couple of stocks, but he's
almost actually killed.
He's just been able to really, really dictate the pace of the game in this last stock.
And these are some clever homing attacks. He's not actually done it so far, so it's definitely not a case of King Gamer having an answer necessarily, and that is going to be the up B, see if he can lead him to that high up. Oh,
he
but
just
he didn't pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger quick enough. Oh no. Is that it? That's
it. He's got to jump, it's fine.
Oh, wow. Lovely conservation of the jump. Amazing call out from you, Whammy. I did not think it was anything but death for your man King Gamer, but he was able to recover and be
That was
able
the
to
sour
take the
spot
stop.
right there.
That's
He
it!
angles it up. That's going to be the kill.
Damn!
He just barely lived that offstage situation as
He
well.
did.
That forward tether is so long.
The King Gamer is here.
He's here.
Let him take his throne back. He had Nasa, and he was doing sick at other tournaments as well. He's back to reclaim the throne.
He's got a bit of a way to go, though. That was looking pretty even, I want to say. He was down for a lot of it, but
That's
the
what I'm saying, dog, yeah.
comeback on Richter, a lot of moves that he's able to throw out, lead to those situations. That is going to be 1-0 up to the goat. We're going to see if there's a character switch. No, sticks
We're
with the
going
Richter
to the
and
Sonic,
sticks with
yeah.
the Sonic as
Oh,
well.
I loved it. You know what, right? Inkling Greninja, great matchup to watch. But I'm getting to see Richter, Belmont, and Sonic in top 8. This is so sick, Whammy. This is so sick. Game 2, we're going to claim. Shout outs to these guys for choosing a little bit of a different scenery for this FD. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of when players do that.
And I would have thought FD would have been pretty good for Richter, just of, you know, the basic assumption of projectiles. But at the same time, it doesn't mean he has a platform to run to when he's being harassed out of his projectiles.
Well, this is the thing. When you're playing Belmonts, those platforms, they act as kind of a shield, right? And especially against Sonic in particular, when you're hiding under the platforms, for lack of a better phrase, it becomes a lot more difficult for Sonic to approach, right? So eliminating that makes this a lot more straightforward. However, projectile characters on FD is a fun time.
That's
oh,
dead.
No!
Oh, he misses just barely, unfortunate.
Yeah, oh, but he gets the second one, hits him with a hilt of the whip, though.
That's going to be no grab. Oh, yes, he does go for the grab. Clever stuff right there from the go. You can get a lot of grabs as Richter. I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, man. Forward throw again. He's throwing out that axe. Barely missing.
Oh, clever home attack, kind of delaying his landing right there.
And Aperture was eating so much damage at the ledge. And King Gamer with a first stock on FD. Looking pretty good for him so far in this second game.
And I feel like there's a couple options at both. Oh, my. You know what? He just ate my words. I was about to say, you can use those spin dashes to kind of mix up how you're going to use your options.
Yeah.
And we see Aperture do it right there as he takes that stock. And Richter's down tilt is something I'm kind of expecting King Gamer to use more. It seems pretty good at dealing with moves like spin dash and Sonic's aggression. Very fast move as well. Oh, and the Holy Cross kind of stopping his momentum right there.
Yeah, again, that's the kind of thing. When it comes to that cross, it's not just to do the damage, it's not just to control that space, it's very much to keep your opponent in check. If they're trying to do stuff and that cross is coming back, they got to pause for a sec, you know?
It's not always about dealing the damage with the move, it's how you condition the move to get even more damage off the other moves
And
that
that's
you
what
get.
I mean. You saw there, King Gamer was going for the cross, recognized that Aperture might jump in that instance and went for that forward air. That's the kind of stuff you want to see with Richter and Simon, man. Playing this immaculately so far. 105% on Aperture. Needs to get back into this.
One thing I'm kind of noticing from Aperture's Sonic right now is kind of similar how he plays Inkling in a way, in that he uses a lot of movement. Just kind of dashing around the player, not necessarily hitting buttons for the sake of hitting buttons. He'll jump right in front of your face, do nothing, condition you to drop shield.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you can't condition that tip of back air.
Another call out of that drop of shield from King Gamer in this stock lead. Looking pretty healthy, but if it's anything like that second stock before, Aperture can take this back very quickly.
And in many ways, Sonic kind of having them whipping his own with that F smash. In many ways, having more range and a lot of swords in this game, which is kind of crazy.
Wow. This is looking very, very good for the King right now.
And we saw a forced high up B right there from Aperture, which will unfortunately lead to even more damage. But he goes to the forward throw grab, lead to an offstage situation.
Yeah.
But it sends a very awkward angle, that kind of diagonally upwards angle.
Oh my god, damage with the axe though.
Of course, Axe famously a very strong kill move. Oh, going for the up B, trying to catch his approach. Clever roll right there coming from Aperture, and that's going to be back throw. No, goes to the forward instead.
That's the slide off tech. Very, very good stuff there from the go. Oh, sorry, that's my mistake.
Don't be
God,
confused.
take this!
And this is looking really, really grim right now for Aperture.
Yeah, it's a
Richter's
false
kind of a hard character to get out of his comfort zone in some ways, in terms of losing your lead.
Yeah, for sure. Good recovery there from. Oh, and he gets off the ledge so well. This is not a character who traditionally does well off ledge, but he is doing so well off ledge right now, the King. Oh, he could
That's
be done
not dead,
at the
managed
ledge.
to.
There's another whip. The axe. Just throwing the kitchen sink at this man. We're probably going to
That's
die
dead, no.
eventually, right?
Forward throw is going to kill, I
Oh
think.
my
Yes,
God,
it is,
just
yes.
launches him into the skies of the Gloric Plateau, man. The King Gamer is 2-0 up.
I don't know what to say.
What can you say? Just bask in the glory of His Highness.
All
He
hail
looks like
the
he wants
king.
to get into losers quarters right now. God damn.
And with a 2-stock in that kind of situation, you've got to expect the Inkling, right? I don't know if it's a case of he doesn't like the matchup, if he doesn't know it well enough to feel confident in it.
Oh no! Say no, say no. God. He's getting a power up, not on this stage. Oh, he's got to Inkling.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. He goes to the Sonic stage of Inkling. Fair enough. I respect it. You know what? I respect it. Okay, you have to try the Inkling. You have to try the Inkling. Wait, what's the song?
7 rings in hand. Okay, I say debatable.
What the
debatable.
What am I listening to? What is this? What is this song? Turn this
You've
off.
never heard the song?
Change the stage. This is disgusting. Oh, this Crush 40 ass garbage ass music. This is a terror. This isn't Crush 40.
I spend the
Who is
time
this?
instead of just giving in.
Oh, I'm sick of this already. I hope Aperture loses. Game 3, we're on FD again. Oh god, this is insane. You have to throw the Inkling out of this position, man. When you're 2-0 down and your Sonic just doesn't have the answers.
To speed.
Don't sing along to the song, Wabby.
Oh, that's going to be... Oh, Inkling Bomber, unfortunately, did not drop off the ledge. Kind of a weird interaction right there.
Oh god. Could have definitely got a big punish off of that with maybe a forward air or back air, but he wasn't able to get it out in time. Maybe not recognizing that Aperture was going to actually land into the fire. He's off stage.
I'm starting to realize that the way his Inkling is playing is kind of similar to the Sonic in terms of the speed that both the characters are wanting in this matchup. Obviously, Inkling's a pretty fast character in of herself. But stuff like Roller is very risky to use, which I kind of understand why he probably didn't want to go Inkling to start with.
Oh, he catches
you can
the spot dodge
see-
again. The King Gamer is here, man. Is he gonna reclaim the throne, get into losers quarters right now?
I'm telling you, those King's rings, he's got all 7 of them right now. Is he
7 rings in hand?
He's got 7 rings right now.
It's looking kind of bad for your boy Aperture. What can you do when the King Gamer has his 7 rings in hand? What can you do, man? It's over for you.
One thing I've got to say, I've just got to... Oh, that didn't...
What's going on?
One thing I've just got to work on. He's been caught out on these jumps every single time with the angled up forward air. See there, for example, he just barely missed it. You've got to work on your short hops, for example. He's got to mix up his short hop fast 4 times.
Oh, and he gets the up throw up air. Good stuff there for Aperture. Keeping that bread and butter simple and clean. The way that you're making me feel tonight, Aperture. Completely wrong song, it's fine. Okay, so he finally takes that stock, but he's at 104% here, Whammy. This is a deficit that Inkling could definitely get back. But right now, the King is looking pretty primed.
Yeah, Aperture's hoping to take back some of the rings that the King has rightfully took as he's at 145 to 0. That's a kill!
It's last stock for Aperture in this tournament, potentially, Whammy.
Something pretty grim, but I've got to say, there is some small adaptations that he is making. He's working the short hops, back airs, that kind of thing. The Inkling Bomber is going to lead to this situation, but the down tilt immediately out of pressure.
Oh, lovely nair there from the King Gamer again. He's looking so... This is looking good, man. This is looking good. He's just keeping him at the ledge, and Aperture cannot get out, man.
It's hard to get around Richter's kind of zoning tools that he has, especially when it gets in your head a little bit. You just feel lost in so many scenarios.
That's what I'm saying, dog. How do you... This is the thing, because like, even when Aperture is able to get out of that trap that Goat is laying down, it's so difficult for him to get big damage, but I say that, Aperture's finally growing into the game a little bit more here.
And he's got to work on these Inkling Bombers
This is
as well.
gonna be the
Not
start
one of them has
shortly.
landed. That's
Yeah.
the tipper. That is going to be the kill. 71%. It's looking grim, but not undoable right now. Hopefully the music will be able to power him up as he's hopefully able to get a grab of some kind, lead to that big damage that Inkling's known for. But the offstage situation is going to be pretty difficult for Inkling.
Aperture recovering very, very high, and Goat is just able to kind of counter that every single time, man. That whip is doing so much work.
It's hard, man, to get off
It's
ledge.
over!
It's hard,
The
but you've got
King Gamer has taken it 3-0 against Aperture.
That was a JV2 at the end as well.
God damn.
The King is here.
The King.
The King?
The King.
He's not got 1 ring. He's not even got 6 rings.
He's got 7
rings in hand
dog.
right now.
7 rings in hand.
Kind of counter-picking his own music.
Hey, speaking of 7, Aperture getting 7th place. Commiserations. 7th place in hand for Aperture. Congratulations.
What does he do?
dude,
He's
man.
like, okay, this is over. I've got it.
Place in hand. Good stuff to Aperture for getting into the top 8, but the Gamer King is able to progress into losers quarters, and we're going to